Hello everybody, this is Michael here, and I was going to play a game of 7 Days to Die with you, but I wanted to go over the settings of the game first. As you notice up in the top, I'm in Alpha 11.3 Build 8, and so I wanted to just go over the options and the Create New World menu, since I know that maybe there are some questions, maybe there's some other things. Um, any game that I'm going to play with a Let's Play, I'm going to do multiplayer just in case I have a friend that maybe wants to show up and join me. And I'm going to do a random gen. I have a Navezgane map. I like the Navezgane pre-gen map, but generally the random gen I think allows for a lot of new options for a video. Difficulty, you can see here you have 6 difficulty settings. I kind of leave it at Nomad. I know there are some who go insane, survivalist, etc. Honestly, if you're new to the game, again, scavengers, there's no shame. I know that there are other players and myself. I'll start at adventurer quite often and move up to warrior as I get more levels and more good stuff. But that is up to you. Nomad is a happy medium between the two. Percentage of night, you can see you have some options there. I leave it at 20% because you're not really going to be doing anything at night. And if you're doing a video series, well, why would you sacrifice that time other than it's going to be off-screen time anyway? I would do night if the zombie run was never run. I know I'm a Romero fan, a Walking Dead fan, where you know zombies, they're dead, they're shamblers, they shamble, they always shamble, but the game is balanced for running at night. So that's one thing to note about how they built the game itself. So I leave it at default. But if I were to leave it at never run, I might do 50% night, because that does create an interesting scenario. Feral, I don't mess with. I like to build. If I was in this to just do first-person shooter, I'd put that on Feral, 50% night, zombies run, difficulties insane, all that. No. Persistent profiles, I have multiple profiles, and sometimes I switch between them. If I've got a different profile, then, I don't want to have to worry about swapping it out if I'm doing that. Now to move on to modded options here. Okay, so modded options. We've got a 24-hour cycle option, some durability options, and various things. But looking at this 24-hour cycle, you have a lot of options. I keep it at 60 minutes because I think 1 hour per day, and that is with the 20% night zooming by. So that's a lot of playtime during the day. And I'm able to do a few things because, honestly, you're gonna be running a lot to get to various places. So there's that. 120 minutes, 240 minutes, that's crazy long. I could do YouTube Let's Plays. You could fit 3 or 4 in a 120 minute day cycle, and 6 or to 8 even maybe in a 240 minute day cycle, which it is what it is. But I keep it at 60. I might experiment with 120 minutes in my next personal game, but yeah. Block durability, you can change that. I leave it at 100%. Loot abundance, I leave it at 100%. I've kicked it up to 150 maybe at the beginning of the game, but oftentimes if you up your loot abundance, that just means you're getting more of the crappy stuff you're getting anyway. And with the inventory issues this game has currently, in that you fill up your inventory ridiculously fast after maybe one house of 10 houses that you encounter, well, I don't think you need more of the junk stacks. For example, empty bottles or empty cans. I know that converts to scrap, and scrap has a use, and empty glass bottles can have a use, but it is not going to help you get the Magnum or Sniper schematic if you up the loot abundance, unfortunately. Loot respawn, you can disable it. You can have it go as long as 30 days. I put it at 7 days, which is default, because after that 7th day horde, you could probably use some nearby supply regen to your base, that is, because you're expanding further and further out, typically, to get stuff. And after that 7 days, you can go back and hit the hot spots you want. Drop on death, I put it to backpack only. A lot of people put it to tool belt only. It's a matter of preference. I like to keep my tool belt because I think it's like if I have to run away or whatever, yeah. Honestly, it should be everything, but I drop a lot. Drop and quit nothing because it's multiplayer. You're going to get this option. You're not going to get this option if it's a single player game. Enemy memory. I dropped this down a little bit. You know, I think Walking Dead for this, or even Living Dead series, they'll come after you, but if there's even the slightest thing that distracts them, they'll go after that instead. And so I figure 45 seconds is a good amount of time. I don't do 30 seconds because that's just a little bit too fast. It's a little bit too much. But enemies spawning. Now, this is one area where I do want to make a plea to the devs, as it were. Right now, enemy spawning, I think this number, dealing with this number, is pretty good, even if you have it at very high when you're out in the environment. But the problem is, in order to add more difficulty to the game, the enemy spawning is you get spotted by one zombie and it will spawn 1 to 3 more zombies, and they'll spawn like right next to you, as you will watch Alpha 11 videos, and people will wind up being like, where'd you come from? Right behind them, even though they've been shooting one direction for some time. This number, I think, affects how many spawn in the world, period. I sometimes might drop this down to low, or even, I've never gone very low, but I might drop it to low if, you know, I go into a hub of prefabs, like 5 to 6 different prefabs. I could wind up fighting 50 zombies if I encounter 5 zombies, because in the time it takes me to kill 5, the first one, the second one, the third one, fourth one, fifth one all spawned 2 more, and then those 2 more, after I don't know what kind of grace period, I'm not into the code, will spawn 2 more and 2 more and 2 more, and it just winds up becoming more about killing zombies than, you know, avoiding zombies, and, you know, being part stealth, part craft, part loot game. It becomes those episodes of The Walking Dead where, you know, they're just going through just covered in blood, swinging machetes, and Daryl's blasting away with the crossbow constantly. And that's not really the feel, I think, that the game should have, in my opinion. So I don't know. I need to do more research. I'm on the forums currently, and there are a lot of people saying in Alpha 11 the enemy spawning is a little bit off. Craft timer, normally I leave it at fast or normal, but since this is a let's play that I'm setting up for, I leave it at none so you can not have to, wait and have a lot of dead time. I do leave a loot timer because honestly, a no loot timer means you get the train of zombies and hey, let's see, I can just loot this, kill loot, kill loot, kill loot, and you don't have the threat of trying to loot with a full inventory and zombies coming at you, and that dynamic I think is a good one to keep. Airdrops, I do the default 3 days. That makes those very interesting. I like, especially, some people set it for 7 days. That's crazy. 1 day is way too much given what the airdrops can provide for you. But 3 days you get one, 3 you get one, 6, and 6 is really good to get one because it's right before you get your 3rd-day horde or 7-day horde. Cheat mode, I honestly recommend everybody put it on. You don't have to use it, but if you leave it on, you're able to deal with some of the alpha bugs. We are in alpha. There are going to be things, as my friend MichaelGames says, there are going to be things that are jacked up and will kill you unfairly, and maybe you deserve to reimburse yourself in those situations. But those are going to be my settings. In my next video, I will hit start and see where I wind up. I'll have my multiplayer set up. Probably won't have some guests for a bit, but it will be what it will be. Thanks for watching, and keep gaming, everybody.